Now that we have a successful appointment of a retailer in place for your service station, the real fun really begins now. The sale agreement and the legal process is absolutely vital to the success of the sale of the site. Now, when it comes to the legal process, I think sometimes we underestimate it because it's just the sale of another business. Now, obviously from a legal process, yes, it is the sale of another business, but a sale of a service station is very specific, and we have to look at every possible eventuality. And obviously there's a lot that goes into a complex business like a service station, because you have got various franchise agreements and various other parties involved. For example, you may have a Pick and Pay, you may have a Debonair's, you may have a Steers, a Wimpy, Woolworths, etc., Fresh Stop. And I think when it comes to the legal process, PetroCONNECT has adopted this legal track and trace process, which takes you through from start to finish and transparently shows you where you are with your process, the sale process, but then zone in to where you are legally speaking in your sale agreement process. From a signing of the agreement, we take you through the checklist process of the buyer and seller getting their checklists and being able to get all the documents back to us. We will guide you through that and ensure that everyone is aligned and deal with both parties very much in a fair way, because that sale agreement is put together fairly without prejudicing either party, but rather looking at this as a fair sale agreement that is beneficial to both parties. And when it comes to the sale agreement, PetroCONNECT has an internal legal team, which also is made up of senior legal counsel and also employs the services of external senior legal counsel where required, if you so require another legal opinion. But PetroCONNECT has really put together a comprehensive sale agreement that we will guide you through and ensure that every I is dotted and T is crossed, from the resolutions that need to be signed and the various checklists that need to go together to put the various documents together, which is the various speaker documents and company documents, and ensuring that we have every document to send to the financial institution in order to get the finance approved as quickly as possible. One of the other complexities that you have in a sale agreement of this nature is the various assets that come with the service station. Some are more asset hungry, others are not as asset hungry. Various contracts that are often come with the service station, be that a safe contract, be that a telephone contract, a vehicle contract, and those need to be looked at when it comes to the service station. We then look at the deposits, we then look at the finance approval, and then track the timelines, because that is absolutely fundamental. The track and trace process is transparent to you as a retailer and transparent through the PetroCONNECT hub, that we are able to show you where you are at. And I think communication is paramount. There are only certain parts of this process that PetroCONNECT cannot control, and I think that it is paramount that communication is always kept at the absolute maximum, so that when we are communicating with you, you know where we are in the process. Even if there are delays, I think the communication is what we drive as PetroCONNECT as a service offering within the sale process. When it comes to the deposits being paid, PetroCONNECT is registered with a Fidelity Fund certificate, and it has all the various legal compliance certification in place to be able to hold monies in trust on behalf of the buyer in order to ensure that the process is rounded up very, very well, and that Nedbank has also approved that process in order to pay funds out from Nedbank and into the PetroCONNECT trust account to then disperse funds on takeover to the seller, and also paying back the buyer for interest that is earned on that trust account. PetroCONNECT also has managed to negotiate very high interest rates for a buyer when investing those trust monies with us, to ensure that you're also not prejudiced through this process as a buyer. So I think that going through this process, it isn't an easy one when it comes to a sale journey. I think what it is all about is communication having people and humans behind this that understand the process, that understand a service station, that understand the complexities that come with selling a site, and that also put the pieces together because of the various stakeholders that form part of this, from the oil company to the bank, to the Department of Energy, to the buyer, to the seller, to various other stakeholders that may also, have interests from a Pick and Pay to a famous brands, and ensuring that those parties are put together and that the takeover is as seamless as possible, which we will go through a little bit later on in the process. The legal process is obviously needing to be tied up towards the end of the takeover, but going throughout this process, we will ensure that all resolutions, all advertisements are done in line with the sale agreement, including your Section 34 advertisement. You are able to get the assistance of external legal counsel on your side in order, to get another party to look through the sale agreement. In many cases, we don't have that from parties because the agreement reads easily, but it also is very bespoke to your specific service station and is a solution around your specific service station. We look at all the various parts of the service station and obviously all the various, just sometimes the various aspects that may not be to a general or a generic site. We hope that this has given a little bit more guidance to the sale process and that we're able to take you through the next part of it, which is going to be the finance process. The finance process being one of, I know we keep referring to every part being the most important, but obviously the finance and being approved and the buyer being approved under the bank is critical. And we're going to go through that now with head of franchise at Nedbank, and that takes great part in this process, and also uses the sale agreement that Nedbank Legal has also vetted and has approved as part of the process.